Hi everyone, welcome to Pearl's Kitchen. If you like my video, give it a thumbs up, press the red button to subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so you'll be notified for my upcoming video. It's all free. Thank you. A humble heart is the beginning of true greatness. Amen. Today I'm going to show you how to make these delicious ham and cheese puff pastries, and here are the ingredients. We'll need a tray that I've lined with non-stick baking paper, and we'll need to put the oven on. My oven is already on and it's on 180 degrees centigrade, and the rest of the ingredients here in this bowl. I've got around 300 grams of soft cheese, and I'm using the garlic and herb mix one. And in here I've got feta cheese, and that's 200 grams, and I've crumbled it, or you can grate it. And in here I've got 100 grams of cheddar cheese, got 2 tablespoons of chopped chive. I've got a fresh garlic that I've grated that I will also add into the soft cheese, and I've got a teaspoon of mustard paste. And in here I've got Parma ham, and that's around 80 grams. Now people who don't want to make it with ham, they can either just make it with cheese or they can substitute it with chicken slices. And in here I've got 3 tablespoons of cranberry sauce, and I've got 1 beaten egg that I'm going to use for egg wash. I've got some flour to roll the pastry, and the pastries here I'm using Puff Pastries, and that pastry that is 500 grams. And I'm going to roll that out and show you what size I'm going to roll it out to. And I'm going to put mozzarella cheese on the top, and that's around 70 grams. I'm going to add this grated clove, that's 1 whole clove, into the soft cheese, and also the teaspoon of mustard, and I'm going to add half the chives in it. And now I'm going to mix it all, and then you just keep this aside, mix it thoroughly and keep this aside. Then we'll start rolling the pastry. I've mixed the garlic and chive into the soft cheese and kept that aside. So while that was resting, I rolled out the puff pastry. Like I said to you, the puff pastry was 500 grams. And I've rolled it out to the size that I needed, and that's 14 by 15 inches. You can also make this with ready to roll pastry, but they'll be slightly smaller sheets. The first thing we're going to do is put dollops of the cream cheese all around the pastry, but making sure you leave around ½ inch around the full square. Once it's all in there, you just take a big flat spoon or a kerchuri or a spatula, and then you just start spreading it all around this lovely pastry. Once you've leveled out all the soft cheese on the pastry, we're going to now keep the spatula aside. Now take the Parma ham. Like I said, this is optional, and if you don't, for people who don't eat pork, or you can put chicken slices. Just take each strip and just lay it over the cream cheese. Once you've laid out the Parma ham, you just take a teaspoon and make the cranberry sauce a bit softer so there's no lumps in there, and then we just again put like ½ a teaspoon at a time here and there. This cranberry balances all the sharpness from the cheese, gives it a little sweetness to it, and it adds lovely flavor to it as well. So again, take the spatula and just spread out the cranberry sauce everywhere. After the cranberry, we're just going to take all this lovely feta that you've crumbled or crushed and just sprinkle it all over the pastry. Just leave the sides a little bit, like half an inch on the sides, so you can roll it. Okay, and after that we need to sprinkle all the chives everywhere. After sprinkling the chives everywhere, you could use parsley or coriander instead of chive, but the chive with the feta cheese goes really well. And then we're going to scatter all the cheddar cheese on the top. Once you've put all the cheeses and all the flavoring you want, we're going to start now rolling this. We're going to roll it from both sides, so halfway away from me and then halfway towards me. So just be patient with it, because it's pastry, needs a lot of patience. Just carry on rolling it. Okay, we've reached halfway. If anything's coming out from the sides, put it back in again. And now we're going to start rolling from the other side. Gently, gently. Carry on rolling till they both meet together. Once it's all rolled together, just flatten it a little bit, so it all balances out the stuff inside. And then you just take a sharp knife. You can still move this around, so you got enough space for cutting it. And then you just cut into equal sizes. Depends on how thick or thin you want to make them. Just keep cutting them. Once you've cut them into the size you want, you just lift them up. They're easy, and then you put them onto the baking tray. Leave some gap. That's why I've got a big tray, otherwise you use 2 trays. Once you've laid all the pastry on the tray, we just need to egg wash them. Now egg wash them nicely all around. I'm going to just put first some in the middle, and then so that they take its shape, and then give it a generous coating of the egg white. I mean, not egg white, the whole egg. And now do this to all of the pastry. Once you've given it a good generous coating of the egg wash, we're going to just take the mozzarella, not a lot, just little, and just put it on the top of each pastry. Once you've topped it up with the mozzarella, that's it, it's all ready. Now this can go into the oven, and depending on your oven, I usually put it in for 30 minutes, so you can have a look after 30 minutes. It might need 30 to 35 minutes. And like I said, the temperature is 180 degrees centigrade. My ham and cheese pastry is out of the oven. This took exactly 30 minutes in the oven, and I let it rest for around 10 minutes before putting it onto this tray. And I actually cut them into thinner slices to make more of them, but it's better to cut them into thicker slices so they maintain their shape better. But either way, they are really, really delicious, and they can be served with any dip. I've got a cheese and chive dip in here. You saw how easy this was to make, so do give it a go and try them and write on your comments what you think about it. And I shall see you next time with some more delicious cooking. But until then, may God go with you and give you His peace.